2026 crunch means those big solutions probably won't be ready in time.
Likely insufficient for the immediate problem, yes. So it pushes towards more immediate, maybe more disruptive strategies. Things like accelerated recycling, scrambling for existing stockpiles, intense diplomacy to secure supplies, maybe even rethinking national industrial policies completely.
The urgency isn't just about convenience then. It's about economic competitiveness, national security.
Absolutely. Maintaining both in a very tight time frame. It implies we're kind of beyond long-range planning now. We're deep into immediate tactical response territory.
That puts a very real clock on things and highlights how critical that lead time is.
Okay, and finally, the source specifies top 5. Just 5. There are loads of essential minerals, right? So why focus so narrowly? What does it mean for the problem to be so concentrated on these few, even if we don't know which ones they are?
Yeah, that's a great question. The focus on a top 5 suggests a highly concentrated risk, and that's a key insight.
Concentrated risk. Is that good or bad? Easier to manage or more dangerous? It's kind of a double-edged sword, really. On one hand, sure, it narrows the field. Lets policymakers and industries focus their resources. You don't have to tackle the whole periodic table, right? You target these specific vulnerabilities.
Makes sense.
But on the other hand, it really amplifies the potential impact because these 5 are, by definition, critical. This concentration suggests they are uniquely susceptible to a supply crunch.
Why them specifically, do you think?
Could be various reasons. Maybe extreme geological scarcity. They're just inherently rare. Or maybe unusually complex, capital-intensive extraction and processing makes scaling up supply incredibly hard. Or perhaps highly centralized, maybe fragile global supply chains.
Where disruption in one place has huge global effects.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Highly centralized supply chains are often the culprit.
So it's like having just a few crucial linchpin components in some massive complex machine. If those specific 5 fail or just get tight, the whole system feels it.
That's a perfect analogy. It creates these potential single points of failure. So while the problem might seem more manageable to analyze because it's just 5, paradoxically, because they are critical and because of these vulnerabilities, the crunch could be far more impactful, far more disruptive.
The ripple effects could be huge.
Substantial, widespread, touching numerous industries dependent on them, and potentially cascading into geopolitical instability as nations, scramble for secure access. It really shows the intricate interdependencies of our modern industrial world. Highlights where the most acute vulnerabilities are.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Whether you're maybe an investor trying to read the market shifts, or a policy advisor thinking about national resilience, or maybe a tech enthusiast curious about innovation's future, or just someone trying to understand the forces shaping our world. Why should this very specific forecast about top 5 critical minerals facing 2026 supply crunch resonate so deeply?
Well, the very fact that such a precise forecast exists, highlighting critical minerals, a near-term supply crunch, it really underlines how intricately global resources are connected to our daily lives, often in ways we don't even think about.
How so for, say, an investor?
For an investor, this immediately flags industries relying on these unnamed top 5 as potentially high risk. But it also might identify opportunities, right? In alternative tech, recycling, maybe resource exploration outside the current choke points. It prompts a hard look at portfolio diversification, supply chain resilience.
And for a policymaker, it sounds like alarm bells.
Oh, definitely. It's a stark warning. National security, economic stability, tech sovereignty, all potentially at risk. That 2026 deadline demands immediate policy responses, like incentivizing domestic production, securing international supply agreements, investing in R&D for substitutes, maybe even strategic stockpiling.
The top 5 focus helps target action, but also highlights potential friction points.
Exactly. Potential for geopolitical leverage, tension around these specific resources.
And for the rest of us, the generally curious.
It's a reminder, isn't it? That the sleep devices we use every day, the whole energy transition we're aiming for, advanced medical equipment saving lives, it all depends on these foundational, often hidden elements. A crunch in these top 5 could mean, well, anything from higher prices for electronics and EVs, to delays in rolling out renewable energy projects, maybe even challenges for defense capabilities.
It could really alter the pace of innovation.
Absolutely. Industries might be forced to find workarounds, scale back ambitions. So understanding this forecast is really the first step in appreciating these potential shifts, these challenges. Challenges that could affect a huge array of industries, technologies, and, frankly, our collective progress and standard of living. It helps you put current events, future economic trends into better context. Makes you more informed about the fundamental forces shaping things, often just out of sight.
We've really managed to pull apart the deep layers of meaning behind what seem like such a concise forecast. The words critical minerals, 2026 supply crunch forecast, and especially that top 5 detail. They paint this powerful picture. Urgency, strategic importance, a highly specific challenge needing attention right now. It just shows the immense power packed into just a few carefully chosen words, especially when you're dealing with pivotal source material like this. Thanks for sharing such an insightful piece with us today. It really sparked a great discussion.
My pleasure. And, this particular forecast, focusing on a specific year, specific minerals, it's such a powerful reminder that the future isn't just something that, happens to us. It's often something that can be anticipated, sometimes with remarkable precision. Understanding these specific signals allows for foresight, right? Better decisions, proactive engagement. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other precise forecast, maybe hidden in plain sight in other reports, other headlines, might be shaping our world right now without us fully appreciating their depth, their profound implications? That's certainly a thought worth pondering.